Let's talk about putting. If you're right beside the basket or on the basket somehow, yes, that can happen. It's a tap in. You can't miss this. You just record a stroke and tap it in. The yellow band is a circle 1. Tall grass does not affect your putt, but regardless of where you are, you can choose any line towards the basket for your putt. For example, from here, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no rules on that. You show us the path that you took to the basket, and as long as it's in there within a certain number of spaces that qualifies as circle 1, you can make a circle 1 putt. As we can see up here, for four spaces away, you have to roll a 4 or better with a d6. If you would land it here, 1, 2, 3, you'd have a 3. You have to roll a 3 or better, or a 2 or better. However, it's -1 per bush, tree, rock, or water. A good example of that would be if you were here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are 4 spaces away, so you can make your circle 2 putt. However, you're going to have -1 to roll for that throw. So you're going to have to roll a 5 or better. If you took the route of 1, 2, 3, 4, you've now passed over water and a rock, meaning that those 4 spaces for 4 or better is now going to be 6. You're going to have to roll a 6 if you have to take that path. I hope that makes sense. If you were in a scenario where you couldn't make it there, like let's say you're here, remember you can be behind the top of large rocks, and you had to go, this isn't a really good example. Just trying to think of how I could create that for you. If there was a scenario where you cannot reach the basket in 6, like a 6 wouldn't get you there. Let's say there was another large rock in the way and you had to go around it, and so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's not really a circle 1 putt anymore. You need to be able to make contact with the basket in 4 spaces. Otherwise, we're looking at a circle 2 putt. So, without further ado, you'll see all the rules for what happens if you roll underneath that amount. It's going to just land on the basket hex, which means you're going to have a tap in. So there's not huge consequences for missing your circle 1 putt, otherwise that you're getting that 1 extra stroke in a tap in. If you are 5 or 6 spaces away, however, which are 1 and 2 spaces outside of the yellow circle, that's circle 2, and that's where things get really interesting. You are going to choose a 9 hex line with 1 change in direction and a clear line to the basket. Let's figure that out. Here I am, 6 spaces away. I need to choose a clear line. Tall grass does not affect this, so let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Drawn a 9 hex space. You could have also gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have options, but if you can't draw yourself an unobstructed path to the basket, then you are going to need to use an approach disc. You cannot circle 2 putt. In this case, you can. So you're going to then roll 2d6, and the consequences are either going to be go that many spaces. So if you rolled a 2, 3, or 4, you're just going to move 2, 3, or 4 spaces along that path that you threw. If you roll a 5 or 6, you're going to hit the basket and you're going to roll a ricochet. Now that ricochet, there's no more flight path at the end of that ricochet. You're going to move either 1 or 2 spaces in the direction of your ricochet, and that's it. A 7 or an 8 is the sweet spot. If you roll a 7 or 8, you score. You make your circle 2 putt. Otherwise, if you roll over an 8, so 9, 10, 11, or 12, if this was your path, you're going to finish all 9 spaces of your flight path, interacting with any obstacles that you encounter after the basket. And that's how you circle 2 putt. I hope that made sense, and if you have any questions, reach out at dgbg.ca and I will post clarifying videos. Thanks for watching.